I'll just get you to state your name and your age.
My name is Kyla Plummer and I'm 39.
Kyla, have you used universal medicine therapies or been to workshops in the past?
Yes, I have.
And do you still attend universal medicine workshops?
No, I don't.
There are many students that would consider themselves religious students of the Way of The Livingness. Do you consider yourself religious or a student of the Way of The Livingness?
I don't consider myself religious. And I don't consider myself a student of the Way of The Livingness. You know, I have a lot of respect for everybody's right to feel and believe what they do, and I can see a lot of positivity that comes out of faith or people's belief systems along those lines. And if it's harming nobody and it's making you feel like a better citizen or human being, well, more power to you.
Do you know of people that do study the Way of The Livingness or consider themselves students?
Plenty, yeah.
Would you characterise them as socially harmful?
Possibly the dead opposite. You know, if you can find somebody that is gentle in nature, look, in my experience, look, they're all different people. So you can't actually say that they are one thing or not. It's just a bunch of human beings. But in my experience and with the people that I know, also happen to be some of the most upstanding human beings that I have come across in terms of, you know, the way they conduct themselves in their professional life, family life, and community life. That would probably be the one thing that is the most consistent between people that I know that have that in common.
When you decided to stop going to workshops or having sessions, did you get any phone calls or was there any encouragement or coercion to keep using the therapies?
Well, no, but who would be calling me? No, definitely not. Yeah, sorry, I might have been a little bit perplexed by that because it's just, as far as I know, an organisation I've gone to pay for a service for, and generally, you know, you don't really get followed up with like that.
What do you make of the allegations that universal medicine is a cult?
Oh, well, I find it patently ridiculous. You know, I've personal experience. I can also see that, you know, the sensationalist media just runs with things like this. You know, it just seems to me being bundled in with something like Scientology or something like that just because people haven't gone, don't know what they're doing or haven't bothered to find out what's going on. It's a little bit ignorant.
Can you take me back to the years that you were engaging universal medicine therapies and why you engaged them at that time and what you felt you did or didn't get out of it?
I'm very fond of every experience that I've had in relation to universal medicine, Serge Benhayon, practitioners that have trained under universal medicine, particularly the one-on-one healing sessions for me were really, really supportive in moving through that, basically a bad attitude that I had to myself and a real humiliation in relation to that, and what, you know, I really learnt to cherish myself and love myself again and realise that I'm not the problem. I definitely did not expect or have any idea about what to expect of the session. It was probably more simple and non-eventful, but yet so poignantly powerful that kind of stuck with me for 6 months, years later. Even though if you actually viewed the session, you'd think, oh, well, this is just a regular kind of like counselling / hands-on healing session. Fully clothed, you know, totally comfortable, just some simple hand positions after we'd spoken and got to know each other. Well, he got to know what I'd come for, etc. But I was just blown away with how much came out of me, how much, when I thought I wouldn't be able to talk to this person, or, also as a man, like, I don't know how comfortable I'm going to feel, but it was the opposite. I felt like I'd known him for a very long time, and I just felt completely free to be really real, really honest and vulnerable with, what was going on for me personally. I'd never felt as safe, probably, in that session, because I've actually also experienced sexual abuse from a practitioner, just to be clear, not universal medicine, a prominent osteopath from Melbourne. So just having that safe space and having that feel, it was very, very important to me. It doesn't matter who I go and see. It's very important that I feel safe as a woman and safe in that space, because I've had that experience before. So whether it's a doctor or anyone, they have to create that space, or be in that, be that kind of person that I would trust and open up to in that way.
And did you feel like you could open up and trust Serge Benhayon, and why was it different?
I definitely can and still do trust Serge Benhayon, and definitely felt like I was in the hands of somebody very professional and very respectful of all people, but particularly women. I felt like I was I felt that I was just really seen very clearly for who I am, and that kind of reminded me to see that too. I felt like he didn't try and fix anything, give me any solutions, really allowed me to work through what I needed to work through. And I felt like the hands-on healing aspect of the session was very, very powerful in its simplicity, is how I can say it. It was like, it didn't seem that there was much going on, but I felt a sense of myself like I hadn't for some time. And I walked out of there with really a shift in my depression instantly. But it wasn't something that just went away. I had my own work to do and turn my life around. It's not like, oh, magic pill. But it was really, really surprising how powerful and how simple it was.
Did you engage the universal medicine therapies to get rid of depression, or was that something you worked through?
I didn't realise that I would get that benefit out of it. I didn't specifically go there for it, but then when I felt like I really saw how amazing the session was, I suppose after that then I probably engaged to get a bit more support with things like how I felt in my body, my sexual abuse history, and depression, and my relationship with food. One of probably the biggest ways that my depression would come out. I've been hugely satisfied with the support that I got when I did engage.
When you say that you sought support with the sexual abuse history, did you find any of the sessions, that's a very sensitive topic obviously, were there any treatments that you had with the body work for sexual abuse that ever made you feel uncomfortable?
Absolutely not. In fact, that was probably restoring my comfortability within my body through those experiences, because I previously was struggling with that. For somebody that has actually experienced sexual abuse and experienced sexual abuse from a practitioner, it makes me quite angry that a man or a practitioner who actually supported me to heal that abuse is being accused of that very thing when he is the furthest thing from that possible. There's no part of me that could believe that he even has it in him, not in an ounce. And I wouldn't say that about a lot of men. Sorry.
Can you recall any detail of sessions that were around the support for sexual abuse?
It's not like that specifically. Like the support that I got was more the support for me feeling like a grounded, solid person that can comfortably deal with my issues as they arise. It was not about me saying, oh, I've been sexually abused, can you put your hand here and fix it? You know, it's not remotely like that. It's much more of a holistic approach in the sense of, you know, for me, what I got out of it was just a bit more of a connection with myself, bit more, you know, and a bit more understanding of myself in the world, myself as a woman, and, you know, I was getting that support in various different ways, whether it be my GP, my psychologist I mentioned before, or universal medicine, or having a chat with my friends. You know, my lifestyle was changed significantly over a few years, but it changed slowly and delicately at my own pace in relation to my family and what I felt like I needed in my life. I'd previously, you know, had a cigarette habit probably, you know, and definitely was a heavy drinker and a bit of a partier as well. And it wasn't serving me at that point, you know. It was fun in my teenage years, but it does get to a point if you have a tendency to be a little bit more addictive, that can, you know, stop you from actually getting your shit together as an adult. When you know, how many years can you get away with it? No, I didn't know how to really make that change or that shift. And I tried a few things before, and it was more that I got support over just making general changes in my life and my lifestyle, and so I could let go of things slowly and make things a bit more family orientated. Things just dropped off one after the other. I decided after having my second child, you know, that, and having a few glasses of wine, that I just kind of didn't need it. My husband followed me about a month or two after, naturally, after I wasn't drinking anymore. So we had a dry house for 10 years. And one day I decided I wanted to have a cocktail, and so I did. And I do drink alcohol now, and you know, and I, well, that's more embarrassing, socially smoke. But I don't feel like, you know, that's my choice in my life. Again, you know, it's right for me now. It wasn't right for me then, and it was really just having that lifestyle change, and also that shift into, you know, more focus on family and building, you know, my financial situation and everything, building myself up really as an adult. I found the space and time and the energy and the confidence to set up, well, what's now become one of the most iconic cafes in the area. It's we have a great following worldwide, but Australia-wide definitely, and we're very humbled by the fact that our business and our businesses, we have a second one, have been so well received by the local community, but you know, people are actually proud to have it as part of the region, and we've got a lot of respect from also the industry professionals in the region as well. And so I've gone from early school leaver, got no degree whatsoever, look like, you know, and a young, you know, a teenage single mother as well on top of that. There was quite a few things that led me to actually want support, because on paper I looked pretty bad at 25, you know. But it's amazing what you can turn around when you just have a little bit of self-confidence, and you know, I think if people are feeling like they're backing themselves.
So are there members of your immediate family, siblings, parents that do still consider themselves students of the Way of The Livingness?
The rest of my family.
And do you feel that has caused tension? Do they judge you for your different lifestyle choices now? My family are some of the most beautiful, unjudgmental, all-encompassing, loving human beings, and there is no way that they would ever
could ever shun me or anything for anything that I do. I have so much love and respect for my beautiful family. That is my two sisters, my brother, my mum and dad. And I've even at this, when I first started drinking again after 10 years, I have to put a special shout out to my mum, because she is the compassionate, really, the connective tissue that holds it all together. She's the glue that holds it all together. But I've always felt like I could say anything to my mum, and I always will be able to. I don't have any vested interest one way or another. It doesn't matter. Well, that sounds a bit harsh, but it doesn't matter or won't affect my life if Serge doesn't do any more treatments for anybody, or isn't available for other people to go and see. But to me, it would sadden me deeply, considering that I had such positive experience that somebody wouldn't have the right to go and pay for a treatment with him, should they so choose. I feel like it would be a real shame to deny people access to great therapies and modalities.